It's all every Monday, Wednesday, Friday through Easter. We think about it, we rant about it. Listen to us live on Facebook.
You know, we keep saying live on Facebook, but
Happy Monday.
yeah. It's Christopher Columbus Day somewhere.
And Thanksgiving here in Canada. Don't remember that.
You know,
Don't
you
forget
look
that.
you look happy gobble gobble. Looks like you're ready for winter. Is it getting cold up there? Because that
Listen,
looks like a ski jacket.
No, actually, I'm in a sweatshirt, but I got to tell you, I'm cool in my office here because we pumped up the air conditioner because it's actually hot outside.
Oh boy. Well, you know, we got an interesting topic today. You know, Christopher Columbus. You know, the man, the myth, the legend. David, but is it cool to have a holiday for a man that was very violent and traded in slaves amongst many other things?
Okay, but you know what? Let's just remind everybody that not only is it Columbus Day in the United States, it's Canadian Thanksgiving.
Gobble gobble.
And you know the crazy thing is, we're both asking the same question. Cancel culture last year popped up, or the last couple of years has popped up its ugly head and said, "You got to cancel these things." Columbus was a colonialist. He played slaves.
Yep.
We should not be celebrating him. And Thanksgiving, whether you're Canada, the United States, oh my God, the myths behind it and what we've done to the indigenous population and all that stuff.
Well, Canada really had a number on the indigenous
and
population.
I want to tell you something. We've all done terrible, terrible, terrible things. And whether Thanksgiving, in its sense, it's like someone explaining to me Halloween. And I'm like, I don't celebrate Halloween. That's just my choice because historically what Halloween was used for. But people say I use it as I'm not using it as a pagan holiday. I just want to get dressed up. I want to decorate my lawn or whatever. But I'm going to tell you something, Stuart. I'll tell you what irritates me and what cancel culture is trying to do. And cancel culture is trying to erase history, rewrite history. We've seen them take down statues. We've seen all kinds of things.
The Nazis did a good job as that as well. So did
absolutely.
the Soviets.
So did the Romans, so did the Chinese, so did a lot of other people. But here's the thing. Last week, I had dinner with a French-Canadian fellow here in Montreal. And he said to me, he goes, "David, I'm fascinated." He goes, "I went to the local Holocaust Museum." And he said, "David, what I was amazed by is you guys hid nothing of the history. You put out there the history of what happened in the 1920s and 30s in the world. You paralleled what happened in Germany, what happened here in Montreal, which was eerily similar in terms of socialism, racism, and what have you." And he said, "I was fascinated by that. You guys left nothing out. You put out all the facts. You didn't try to erase Hitler. You didn't try to erase what happened." He goes, "I don't understand." I said, "Because we're trying to educate the people in the future. We're trying to educate people, Jew, non-Jew, because when the day will come that the last Holocaust survivor will die, the stories will go with that individual, and we will be left with museums, and we'll be left with artifacts. And as we see, people want to rewrite fact and history, and we need to preserve it." Now, does it need to be in a holiday, Stuart? I don't have a Holocaust Day party. I don't have things, I don't have a dinner.
No, but we have a memorial. We have a Holocaust Remembrance Day.
Correct, but I think what I'm trying to do, but I'm saying Columbus discovered America.
Yep.
And he employed slaves.
Yep.
Which was...
He was given slaves by the monarch, though. It was a strip under... It was number one, it wasn't his only voyage, but the expedition was made possible by the Spanish monarchs.
Right.
I mean, he wasn't an independently wealthy guy.
Well, there are all kinds of stories about who funded him, how it was done, whatever. There's a lot of stories because we don't really know. But, to sit there and to say that he's a colonialist, that he came in with the Spanish powers to colonize America on purpose that's distorted history, right? The history is, of course, Columbus was trying to find India. Hence the reason.
No, he was sent out because there was a lot of issues over exiling Muslims and Jews in Spain because Spain was strongly Catholic and they wanted to be ahead to go to the New World to bring Christianity. But that was also another part of that.
But you know what? I'm going to tell you, and when I did research and I tried to find out about, what Columbus did, and then eventually what the colonialists did afterwards with the indigenous populations, I got to tell you that, yes, there were atrocities. There were tremendous atrocities done. And I'm not here to celebrate atrocities. the opposite. I think what happened afterward, I know in Quebec with the church, the Catholic Church, what they did to decimate and to destroy the indigenous populations. We saw what has been uncovered here. We see the indigenous populations. Last week on September the 30th, we had our first, in day to remember and to reconcile what happened with the indigenous populations. We understand that there was a lot of stuff that happened that we screwed up on. Absolutely. But let's just want to know one thing. Columbus discovered America. Columbus might have done things that were the norm
Cuba,
for his day,
Venezuela. He
but
discovered a number of places.
my question is, at what point, and I said this in a previous rant, Stuart, if you're going to cancel Columbus, you might as well cancel Washington.
Well, right, Washington. In fact, I think we should cancel all holidays and kids should go to school every day of the year. And I'm canceling summer break for all those people who want summer break. And while I'm at it, I'm going to cancel the weekend because you should work 7 fucking days a week. At what end do we stop? At what end does it become utterly nonsensical? And poor Christopher Columbus or Cristofo Columbus, do we draw the line? None of these guys were fucking Mary Poppins, nor was any of the American industrialists like J.P. Morgan, like Rothschild, like the General Electric. None of these guys were innocents. They were all conniving, dirty bastards. And yet we revere them as being monarchy families, like the Kennedys. So Christopher Columbus is no worse than a Kennedy. And if you want to destroy the Kennedy name, well, then yes, destroy Christopher Columbus. But Kennedy's only first was he had a number of broads through the White House before Clinton.
But Stuart, to me, it's like the thing that I'm trying to understand is, when you and I talk here about the cancel culture, to me, the thing that irritates me is it's canceling, it's erasing, it's rewriting, it's not teaching. I think that if in fact, look, I'm not here to, I don't celebrate Thanksgiving. I wasn't, that's just me. I know Americans celebrate it with football. I know Americans celebrate it with a dinner. I don't know. Maybe we need to change the name. But I'm saying,
listen. But hang on a second. You mentioned something, and it just sort of reminded me of something. Do you know what a gladiator is? They used to celebrate gladiators. Now they celebrate football players and basketball players. And before that, they celebrated people that discovered new worlds and riches, like Christopher Columbus. So does that mean we're going to have monuments of some of these dumbasses that are the like Kaepernick because he's the king of the world culture?
I wouldn't be surprised if they're going to want to try that.
A national holiday for Kaepernick, the white boy who claims he's not white, who grew up in a predominantly wealthy neighborhood. I mean, I'm so tired of it.
To me, Stuart, the question is, and it started about a year ago during COVID, where people were saying, we shouldn't get together because Thanksgiving, it's COVID, it's not a good idea to get together, which led to why are we even celebrating this controversial holiday? And I went, controversial, okay, because it was one way. The way it wants to be spun is that it's celebrating the conquest of Native Americans.
Right. And I'm like, Christopher Columbus was saving his ass because he got arrested, and he was trying to prove the world was round.
So to me, my question to everybody else is like, this is again a way, it's tough. I mean, we can't go back in history 600-700 years and say, this was about conquering America. I think that the idea was, and again, I'm not aware fully of it, but the whole notion was that, the colonialists did come in here and take over America, Canada. We know that already.
They're proselytize the other part of the world about Christianity. That was his to find riches.
But to sit here and to tell me, and again, we talked about this on Friday, Stuart, about media and their agendas and all that kind of stuff, is like, again, these are people who are, who are commenting about how the fact that, we should get rid of this Thanksgiving because it's just, it promotes racism.
I mean, Thanksgiving, poor turkey that gets slaughtered. I mean, they want to stop the massacre on the White House lawn.
Listen,
I get it. I get it. People need something to keep them busy. The media needs to sell ad space, and having conflict keeps people's mind off of the smoke and mirrors that's going on in DC and in Ottawa.
Look, to me, and I agree with some of the comments that it's become commercialized, the holidays. But that's what holidays have become. They've become commercialized because last I checked, Christmas, where Christ is in there, like that's supposed to be a religious holiday, not. Okay, Easter, supposed to be a religious holiday, not. You know what? Like in the United States, could you name me one religious holiday that is a stat holiday?
No.
Exactly. You've basically neutralized the religion. So I get it. This has been commercialized 100%. I agree 1,000%. I mean, there's Columbus Day sales. There are Thanksgiving Day sales. We get all that. It's commercialized. But if you really want to make a change, and I do want to say I have to commend what happened here in Canada, which is rare for me to do so, is the day last week of reconciliation, where Canadians literally came, other than our prime minister, all of the Canadians stopped and said, we need to think of what we've done to the Indigenous population. Not just wear orange T-shirts and not just wear orange clothing because that's the color and what have you, but really to sit and to listen and to reconcile what was done, and the pain that was done here. Our prime minister, by the way, instead of being front and center, who was a proponent of this,
he was on vacation or something.
He went on vacation. The putz. So
did anyone send him black shoe polish?
So the thing is, no, he took it on his own. So the thing which is I'm trying to get at is, if you want to get rid of Thanksgiving because you think it's a racist holiday, I'll give you that. I'll tell you what, take Thanksgiving, but I want a day called Family Day. I want a day in the year where I can celebrate the time with my family. Take Thanksgiving, reposition it like what we got here, the Day of Reconciliation. But guys, the purpose of Thanksgiving, albeit may have started with some sort of, racial mannerisms that was norm 700 years ago, 600 years ago.
Valentine's Day. I mean, listen, all these holidays are literally celebrations of blood.
Look at Halloween, right?
Well,
what's Halloween?
Well, Valentine's Day too. Right. So if cancel culture wants to get rid of Columbus Day and they want to get rid of Thanksgiving, then I want to abolish Christmas, Easter, and Valentine's Day and Halloween. And I want to abolish every single day off that everyone in America or Canada get, and make them work for zero money, all money to be given to the charity that was once there before.
Right.
And to hell with all of them. Put your money where your mouth is, David.
You know what? I agree with you. I'm having.
I was, again, we were talking on Friday about my cousin Rupert. So I was on the phone with Rupert after we had our podcast. He has unfortunately refused to take the offer on coming on in and ranting with us. He won't give me the pleasure. But, when I mentioned we could talk about his charity that he's working on, he kind of maybe softened up. But you know what? You have 188 billionaires living in the state of California. It is the richest state and the poorest state, yet that's where the largest woke culture exists.
Yeah, but we've always seen the West Coast as woke. Seattle, Oregon, whatever. But to me, it's just a bunch of people who they're angry and they want to.
They're not angry. They call themselves more in touch with humanity.
Okay,
that's the language I got, and I said, really, was Bill Clinton getting in touch with reality with Lewinsky under the desk?
Oh man,
come on,
dead horse, buddy. Really? We're talking about the holidays, and you clearly have to go to the cigar that Monica Lewinsky had.
Listen, I like taking it to the carrot.
I am so tired, as I'm sitting here. And I'm saying, it's Thanksgiving.
I have to go off topic. I have to be the live.
I know you have to be you, but I'm saying when we're looking at these holidays, I'm just asking myself at the end of the day, are we trying to do what are we trying to really accomplish here? We cannot rewrite history. Nope. History is what it is.
Yep.
America was founded. Most of this world was founded on colonialists and war. And I'm tired of listening to the whinies who want to eliminate but we don't want to educate. On that note, what do you think we call it a wrap here?
What?
Let's wrap up this show.
Oh, wow. What a great concept. Again, David, always with the witty one-liners, the cliches that are better than mine. You know, the master of disaster. David, is a pleasure. I wish everyone a happy holiday. And you know what? If you don't think it's a holiday, go to fucking work and be a productive part of society. And if you don't have a job, maybe pick up the garbage on the street in which you stand, because you're causing the mess.
Don't think I could have said it anyways. On that note, have yourselves all a great week, everybody. We'll see you